which is not an engage support. It's more like follow-up support, more of like you know, vanguard that protects more, deals more of protection towards his team, not an engage. And you don't have anymore this kind of safe engage, non-committal engage, I'd say, yeah, that has Nautilus has, for example, or Ornn has, or Maokai, those three champs. And non-committal engage is very crucial because you can make an attempt, and if it's not successful, then you can just say, oh, no problem, and go back.
Yeah, exactly that. Orianna being picked again here for Jash, so maybe it's just comfort. You know, we're having a bit of a discussion about this, whether it's just like a comfort pick here really for Jash. You know, as you mentioned before, you know, was very comfortable in that kind of AP meta when it was a thing down in the bot lane. So Orianna being picked again. Morgana on the other side can be very good because it can deny a lot of the crowd control for Ambessa. You can use the Black Shield. You also have Galio with the follow-up as well. So I think that they're really going to try and draft a Mango hero, really going to try and draft around this Ambessa and try and get her to be the main carry for the team.
Yeah, but that's very important, yeah, to have Galio in this situation, because you have Ambessa who's going to carry, and you will need some kind of assistance, yeah, and you probably won't draft some utility champs like Janna. Janna might appear, of course, not this game, but overall, I've seen Janna is played recently, but Galio is, I think, more consistent pick, and of course, it's good for Ambessa to have Morgana on the back to give Black Shields, especially against Vi. We see it's good answer from... I think it's gonna be Morgana on bot lane for Deadly, probably. Especially with the situation with Varus. Morgana and Varus can just farm on the bot lane and nothing gonna happen there. So it's like basic mage matchup on the bot lane.
I mean, it's been so many years since this meta was a thing. You know, it's been like, what, 2 years now? And nothing's changed. You know, nothing's changed. I mean, people just still... No one's really discovered the kind of new meta, I guess you can say, for Wild Rift. I mean, we still have a lot of competitive action over in China. Actually, in China, they still sometimes play AP mages in bot lane. They actually play Fearless Draft over in China now, which is super interesting to see. Like, they have a lot of different unique picks over in China, which is great to see. But in general, for EMEA, for what competitive team we have left, nothing's really changed in terms of AP bot laners. You know, the Oriannas, the Ziggs, the Morganas, you know, they're still being played in that bottom side. But again, the main reason why this is such a big thing, and I said this in the previous draft, is it just opens up so much for these bruisers to be so strong and these AD champions to be so strong in either the mid lane, the jungle, and also in the Baron lane. Because in terms of AP champions, there isn't really that much. You know, in Baron lane, Mordekaiser got heavily nerfed and is not really played that much anymore, so there's not really anything else in Baron lane. Lilia gets banned pretty much 100% of the time, and there isn't really any other AP junglers. You can maybe think of like Diana buff could be a good option. You know, Diana rework with the ultimate could be an option. But there's just so many better AD champions in all the other lanes that your only source of AP damage is going to be coming in that bottom side of the map.
Yeah, the problem is, like, when you play with AD carry, you need to play around AD carry. That's the problem in your drafts when the enemy team wants to play around the soul lane and, for example, try to make your bruisers, which you mentioned, Stu, to get ahead as fast as possible. Your ADC needs scaling anyway, so like if you take Jace, for example, as a bruiser champ with a lot of potential in the early game, so he can apply a lot of pressure. And the ADC, like, I don't know, whatever, like Xayah, for example, you cannot apply a lot of pressure in the early game. I mean, you can push the lane, you can pressure the lane over and over again, but you cannot really play above the lane, you know, like for 4 people in 1 second, and Varus or Orianna, they don't have escapes. They are not like, I mean, Olaf as well. It's very difficult to escape from this squad. And they will just try to rush around the map and catch Jobcenter on the side lanes. And that's a good win condition for them.
Yeah, I haven't seen Olaf for quite some time, to be fair, especially up in the Baron lane. You know, Olaf being picked there is definitely very interesting. Oh, already a pick into the mid lane with the aggression from Jace. Oh, this is the cool Jace skin as well. Yeah. This Jace skin is so good. Love it.
That's the only way I see Jace from now on. I mean, I cannot...
The arcane Jace is the only way you see Jace now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this Survivor Jace, it came, I don't know, way too deep into my heart.
I mean, especially after you watch Arcane, you kind of get the reference, you get like all the abilities. I mean, the effects on the abilities as well are some of the best that definitely I have seen. You know, as I mentioned, this kind of top lane matchup is very interesting. It's something that I haven't seen for quite some time. Patterson actually getting the level 2 priority here, is able to play aggressive and actually win an early trade against Carlos. But again, Shen is not really a Patterson champion. You know, Patterson normally plays these bruises. He normally plays quite aggressive. You know, you think of Camille last game, he was flashing in, he was trying to play aggressive, he was trying to go for the engages. Now he's a bit more on a utility top laner that, yes, Shen could do a lot of damage, but Shen is normally down to split pushing and trying to use the ultimate as more utility and, you know, using the stun like from the third ability.
Yeah, the problem that Patterson now, he tries to trade and now it works, but soon it will stop working, maybe even sooner than we think, and Carl's probably gonna 1v1. Patterson 1 HP, trying to flash away, and he dies first blood for the team Jobcenter, but Mangemurakuya managed to take the revenge.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the trades are eventually going to lose. I mean, you win the initial trade with Shen because you get the block, you get the extra damage. But the great thing about Olaf is that the lower HP that he is, the more attack speed and the more damage that he's able to get. So even if you do take Olaf lower, it's so difficult to kind of finish the job. Jace actually dashing in straight onto the Nautilus. Interesting decision. Actually has to use the flash to get away. So it does need to be a little bit careful here, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. The big thing here for Mango is they do get the kill on this Ambessa, so it is going to give Ambessa that little bit of extra gold to try and accelerate this lead.
Yeah, and Ambessa is really cool in terms of snowballing the game. Also the fact that she has this okay engage from Vi here on the mid lane will attempt to secure the kill. Oh,
Uses the third ability in the end, uses the Galio to actually bounce the damage or put the damage behind the Galio onto the Jace, but really kind of utilizing that Jace having no flash. Just as soon as she got level 5, goes into mid, uses the first ability on mid. I thought the Jace was going to survive on 1 HP, but she was able to secure the kill. She didn't have to use flash as well. So both junglers now getting 1 kill each. Nabil getting caught in mid lane again. It happened a few times in the last game. It looks like he might get caught again. The shockwave's really huge to try and knock the Jace away, but a flash on through from the Galio. The shield actually coming on through from the Orianna as well, and it does mean that the build's going to be so low. Does get finished off in the end by Patterson. The ulti comes on through, and he actually used the ultimate right on top of the Olaf, so I thought he was actually going to die in the end. Maybe using the ultimate a bit too early there, or maybe it was a bit of a misclick. But in the end, again, Nabil getting caught out. Kind of happened a few times in the last game as well, Cold Star, where Nabil's getting caught out by playing a little bit over-aggressive and kind of playing disrespectfully.
Yeah, I mean, overall, as long as I know Nabil, he's always aggressive. He always tries to maximize the impact on the game from his side, but sometimes he goes too deep, and sometimes he tilts when something goes wrong, and that also can be the moment they probably wanted to get the plate, they maybe didn't get it, and he wanted to, okay, I want to maximize the potential of this situation and get the plate at all cost, and the cost is his life at this point.
His life, again, was able to get traded back, though. So, again, it's very similar, I feel like, to the first game, where the trades are going pretty even. I mean, Jobcenter did find that little bit of an early game lead, but then Mango came back, and it seems very, very similar to this game. Jobcenter does have nearly a 1,000 gold lead. That gold lead mainly coming into the bot lane with this Varus Jash just being able to farm so much in this bottom side of the map. So, using that to try and just get constant pressure. Actually going to be going back to base. This time it means that maybe Jash is going to look to try and go into the mid lane here and try and get some priority over the objectives. So he's kind of deciding where he wants to go right now. He's like bot lane, mid lane. He's actually going to decide to go into the bot lane and try and push another wave. But the rest of his team are all going to be on that top side of the map. So we're in the same situation as last game.
Jobcenter. So they're now in position, but they are losing the control, and they want to trade objective and get the dragon, I think.
Yeah, they're going to trade objectives in the end. It's actually Ambessa that's just going to be solo in this Herald. And actually, the rest of Mango want to try and stop this dragon from being taken. But I think they already have the priority in the spot side with Jash pushing on in. So that's going to be pushed on in. Ambessa are actually going to be looking to try and go towards the dragon here, but it does get taken away. But the fight comes on through anyway. Ambessa actually baiting the ultimate into the end. Thought was going to go on to Nautilus, but instead went on to the Orianna. But maybe went a little bit too far. The shockwave comes in. The Galio ulti tries to stop it, but it doesn't do anything at all. A 1-for-1 trade overall, though. Ambessa and Divide dying in the end, but such low health bars here from Mango. It does mean now that the side of Jobcenter is going to be able to use that little bit of advantage they're able to get. Again, the Ambessa was a little bit too far. Ambessa was kind of difficult here when trying to get the extra control and the extra power, but in the end, it does mean that it's just a 1-for-1 trade. Again, objectives trade, kills trade across the map, and we have a very even game.
Very, very even game. That's it's a pleasure to watch those even games. And Hextech Gorilla goes to bot lane, and probably Jobcenter are going to try to avenge that tower, and they try to fight. That's what's going to happen in bot lane. There's an engage from Jobcenter.
Chain of Corruption comes through from the Varus, and straight away just gets completely locked down. The Shockwave as well from Fine God, and Jobcenter have come here to play. The Piercing Arrow going to be coming on through, trying to get the snipe, but no, Oriana at the end, going to get 1 kill, maybe going to get 2 kills. They're all so low. They're all blinking health bars. The Arrow comes on through, and the snipe from Jash is able to get the kill in the end. Everyone is so damn low. The flash comes on through, but the Shen ulti from Patterson going to be trying to dash over the wall to get another kill here onto the Vi. Not going to be able to follow up. What an absolute fiesta in the bottom side of the map. It originally came from Varus catching out the Ambessa, but the dive was nearly too much.
Oh, that was so insane. I mean, that was really close. That was really close. I felt like with that ulti from Shen, maybe it was a little bit miscoordinated at some moment, because Mogambo could play a bit more aggressive. If Shen ulted like 1 second earlier, and Mogambo could just go in with everything, like with all he had. So maybe he could have managed to get 1 extra kill. But I mean, overall it was bad situation for Manga Maracuya, because they used the Gorilla tower, the Hextech Gorilla, that's the way it's called. So engage on the top lane again. They're trying to punish Snorlax, and this time they go successfully for that. Oh, Olaf tries to get everything onto Antonio, but he's unsuccessful in this spot, and he will get punished for that. Double kill for Mogambo.
Yeah, double kill for Jace, and that does mean that the Jace gets even further ahead as well, is able to build the anti-shield as the first item. I mean, when you have shielding from the likes of Vi, Oriana, Nautilus coming on through, then it's a really big item. Even the shielding as well coming through from Olaf, so a really good item, and it even has the scaling here coming from the Manamune. But you could just see how difficult it is to shut down this Ambessa. So much mobility, and when you don't have the lockdown, you don't have the likes of, you know, the Nautilus there, the Varus there. They were able to catch up the Ambessa last time, but that's just because they chained the CC one on top of the other, because the Black Shield can only block so much CC. But in the end, they're able to get 2 kills in the top side of the map. But again, the gold is still in favor of Jobcenter. They're able to now take this top lane tower. They're trying to trade into the bottom side of the map. There seems to be a fight happening in the bottom side of the map. Jace is extremely low on HP. Okay, nice. The Ambessa jumps on through. The Olaf is probably going to try and get 1 more kill if he can. The dive is going through for so long. The accelerated shock blast there from the Jace finishes off 1, and they get another. That's 4 kills in quick succession here for Mango, and 2 quick towers. That does mean that they're going to be bringing the goal back ever so slightly. Nabil
is going too aggressive on the river. He cannot do that, and Binding hits. Nice ulti from side of Nautilus. Shockwave hits Antonio pretty hard, and there might be a re-engage from Jobcenter right now. Antonio needs to be really careful in this spot with the arrows from Varus. And Mountain Drake is up, and the problem is that Ambessa is very low HP. Oh wow, Oriana! That was really extremely dangerous play from Oriana, and here might be too much aggression from the Manga Maracuya side.
You can see here that the counter engage is coming on through. The engage tried to come on through there. As you said, a bit of over-aggression here from Mango. They got one kill. They didn't really need to take that fight. They got a really good pick here onto Orianna. They were able to hit that dog binding and get so much more. But now, both teams trying to play around this objective. It's going to be really, really huge. The ultimate comes in from the Ambessa, but the lockdown is there. The Gargle Stoneplay actually from Ambessa, keeping her alive for a little bit longer. But that's only ever so slightly a little bit more. And that means that the Jace also goes down. The Orianna goes down. The objective gets taken here from Jobcenter. And again, it just seems like the mistakes from Mango. They had the advantage. They were in a 4 versus 5, but they just kept chasing kill after kill after kill. And again, they get punished by Jobcenter.
Yeah, Mango are so good in playing from behind. When they are behind, they play so good in trading towers. They did a really nice trade on bot lane when they got the Carlos and Snorlax. They got the tier 1 bottom tower. They caught Orianna in the mid lane. They had full control of the situation. They just need to chill. They need to play slow and patiently. But they, for some reason, they try to hurry up. They try to fight for this dragon too quickly. They need to wait. They need to make resets. They need to wait for Ambassador to get full HP, etc., etc. So they need to, reset. They need to go for this status quo and begin from the very start. They need to begin it again. But they try to rush. They try to go as quickly as possible, and they make those mistakes and allowing Jobcenter to recover from their mistakes that they previously made.
And that means that Jobcenter's gold lead is now going to be extended to about 4,000 gold now on the side of Jobcenter. The Baron is up and available. The side lane's getting ever so more difficult now for Patterson. You can see that the Shen, even though it is a side lane champion, still struggles. This 2-item Olaf with the Black Cleaver and the Divine Sundra doing so much damage. Might even try and look for a tower dive here into the bottom lane as the rest of the team is trying to secure this Baron in the top side. There's no vision around this objective. I mean, Mango are just in a really tough spot here. They're losing the bot side trade and they're losing around the objectives in the top side. The 1v1 comes on through. Patterson actually kind of winning the trade because the Olaf took 3 tower shots in the end. Has to use the flash to get away. And that means that Mango can play a little bit more aggressively now towards this Baron and try and get some vision control.
Yeah, now there is no pressure from Carlos, so if they will be engaged in mid lane, they can easily do it with Shen ulti, and Jobcenter won't be able to punish in any way, and there is an engage. Yes.
Just like this, as soon as you call it, the engage comes on through. The Shen actually taunt misses onto Nautilus. Vi survives on 1 HP. The Shen flashes down and Bessa's flashes down. And now the entire engage might come in, but Nabil is all by himself. And he gets caught out again. And that is his kill over to Mango. It looked like Mango was not able to get anything from that. But Nabil just going a little bit too over-aggressive when his Vi was back into base. And that means that Jobcenter now are going to have priority over this Baron. They're not going to start it just yet. They definitely don't have as quick of a Baron take as they do in the last game. But again, just mistakes on either side. I mean, Vi surviving there, Snorlax on 1 HP really saved the game for Jobcenter.
Yeah, and that's the issue that Manga Maracuya, they want to take too much from the situation. They got Vi to 1 HP. Just turn for Baron. Just turn for Baron and catch. Just go into the side of the river, and Jobcenter, like we saw Nautilus is going in. Like Galio shouldn't go that far. Shouldn't waste his Zonias, his stasis. Just go into the river. Just try to pull the enemy team again towards your side. And you know that Vi is on reset. Vi must be forced to get back into shape, to get back on the map. So you have some extra time to take control over the jungle. So maybe if you can put some vision in the enemy jungle, for example. But we don't see that from a Mango side. They didn't put any vision. They didn't put any words. I know maybe Jobcenter used some instruments, but I see that the sweeper is on cooldown, so probably they didn't use it. So there was no words on from the side of Mango in the enemy jungle, but they need to make more control of the map and put more attention to that.
Take a look at the builds right now at the bottom of your screens. And Vesa in the end going for Divine Sundra over the Trinity Force. So a bit more of well, I say defensive item. It's still a very good bruiser item, still a very good carry item, but kind of surprised that he didn't actually go for the Trinity Force and play more of a carry build, because I feel like outside of Mbessa, they don't have too much damage. I mean, the Jace is going to do a lot of damage. Morgana doesn't really too much. She kind of just puts her pull down and just kind of prays that people step into the pool. But I thought with the kind of composition that they have with like the Black Shield, Galio ultimate, that this Ambessa can play more of a damage build and you know, give the rest of the team time to actually look for something. But the gauge is coming on through.
Nice
Great stasis there from the Morgana, and also the flash away as well. The shockwave actually misses, and that means that Morgana was able to get a kill onto the backline. And this is a go single now for Mango. The Ambessa gets a reset, gets 1 kill, is able to get 2 as well.
That's
the
Baron.
jungler is down for the side of Jobcenter, and that means that they can head towards Baron.
Great moment here from Mango Maracuya, and Deadly did a good job. So he used the Black Shield on Ambessa, and he saw that Vi is ulting him, and he reacted with his stasis, and it made it possible for him to... Yeah, it was really nice from the side of Deadly. Well done here. All the praises goes to Deadly in this moment. Well done. And also, I'd like to praise the build of Ambessa, what you also began to talk about, because I think that Ambessa really lacks this defensive, you know, sustainability. What we actually discussed, and you've been talking about that during the draft, and build like this kind of covers it and I don't know, makes her more tanky, but still very mobile, a lot of damage output anyway because of armor shredding that she gets from the Black Cleaver, and of course the percent damage from Divine Thunder. So everything she gets from these items, I think it's very profitable for her. So I really praise that build from the side of Antonio.
Yeah, the extra healing from Divine Thunderer will definitely help out with her survivability, and also since there are pretty much 3 tanks on the other side, Vi is going for a more tankier build, the Olaf and the Nautilus, that percent HP damage is definitely going to come in handy. Zeke's Convergence was not on my bingo card though for Ambessa. I mean, that is definitely a very interesting option. We are seeing a lot of Zeke's Convergence actually being built on more of these carry junglers and also supports in general, just because of the changes that happen to Zeke's Convergence. Is now a lot more of a solo carry item. You get more damage to yourself, and you also get the slows in that area around you. So it gives Ambessa, again, as you mentioned, a bit more tanky stats, but also gives her the crowd control and, you know, the slows around her, which could allow her to get the reset. So again, it's interesting. You know, it's kind of probably one of the first times that I've seen it on the, you know, seen Zeke's Convergence on Ambessa, but hey, it's working now. Mango still don't have a goal lead this game, but it feels like they just have a bit more control. And again, though, this T-Hex is just not doing enough, in my opinion, for Mango. They're able to get 1 tower. Actually, they don't even take a tier 2 tower in this mid lane. Like, it just feels like this T-Hex has just been wasted again.
Yeah, but the problem, they cannot really do anything against the shoving waves of from the side of Orianna and Varus. They just pushing waves too fast. They shove it like within a millisecond. I don't know. It's very difficult to push through this Varus Orianna, so they need to win the fights more. And here comes the Elder Drake again. Yeah, which was the doom of Mango last game. But let's see how it goes this time. And about Zeke Convergence, I will, as we have a little bit of time, I'd say that I've seen this item before on Ambessa. It's not that bad, but I would prefer Amaranth on Ambessa's third item. It's very nice because it gives you defensive capabilities against both physical and magic damage. Which
Are they
really
doing
nice.
this? They're trying to burst down this Elder Drake as quick as possible. I mean, the Shen is going to be able to ulti in. It's down to 4,000. It's down to 3,000 already. Ambessa's going to ulti on in, but the smite comes through again from Snorlax. Game number 1, it was the smite still. Game number 2, it's a smite secure from Snorlax. The Elder Drake again goes in favor of Jobcenter. The decision making in the end. This is exactly what Mango were lacking last game. They were hesitating around the Elder Dragon. This time, Jobcenter's like, okay, we have the burst damage, we have the go button, we're going to burst down this Elder Drake, and that's going to mean that they're going to be able to secure the Baron as well. And just like that Cold Star, like in game number 1, this game has turned extremely into Jobcenter's favor.
Yeah, they will try to punish somehow Carlos and try to kill him, but he literally can 1v2 them, and he will probably kill Patterson right now. And Orianna coming with his shields, and the stasis won't help. And Shen won't stand a chance against Carlos, and double kill for Olaf. I'd say that it's probably GG, because against Elder Dragon, against Baron, you need to stay 35 seconds against 5 members with both buffs, it's just nearly impossible to do when you have Jace, Ambessa, and Morgana. That's not possible. You don't have any frontline to tank for you.
No, exactly that. I mean, it's going to be so difficult. You just have the Ambessa now, but Ambessa's not really a tank. I mean, that's really where the Twin Guard comes in handy. You were mentioning the Twin Guard as well with Ambessa before. If you're in combat for such a long amount of time, oh my God, the piercing arrow nearly one-shot Morgana. I think Morgana's on legit 1 HP right now, but they already took the mid lane inhibitor. They are going to take the top lane inhibitor. That bot wave is pushing in as well, thanks to the Baron up buffed minions. And this is the way that you use the Baron buff. This is the way that you use the T-Hex. It's doing so well. We're doing so much damage. They can even try and roam here into the bot lane, but they have such a huge wave that they're just going to try and end the game. They're going to try and focus onto Nexus. Huge shockwave from Fine God in the end. A double kill for Jash, a triple kill for Jash. He's not able to get a quadra, but Jobcenter secure game number 2.
And a disaster for Mango. Second game in a row, Elder Drake becomes their doom. And I don't know why they didn't make any control on the river, because they were there. They took the control over the map at some point. And for some reason, they just go back in the mid. They don't leave any words. They don't leave any vision control and just leave it. And then you need to push. You need to make some pressure, but they don't have vision, they don't have control of the map, and there was just sneaky start of Elder and Mango. They were just late. They were just late for that fight or whatever they could be, and only Flip could save them. But Antonio unfortunately didn't manage to smite the Drake, and another win by taking down the Elder Drake by the team Jobcenter.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it's happened back-to-back games. I mean, you wouldn't expect it to happen in back-to-back games. But yeah, again, in my opinion, it's the late-game decision-making from Mango. I mean, as you mentioned, they had control over the Elder Drake. They even started Elder Drake for a bit. They even